I kept some of this just so I could show you real quick. Just so it's all cluttered and shit right now. I'm gonna keep all this on here just because I want to go over that as well.
Okay.
But it was this right here. So you see on H4, right?
Yeah.
So here, I'll go ahead and measure this out for you. So I got my structure marked up. So I got my higher low right here. And then this right here is a 23.6, right? So if I drag it to the top, 23.6 comes down, makes like a little lower high, and then it finally tests this 38.2, making this valid higher low, right? So it
Yeah.
pushes and it breaks the level of resistance, but it doesn't break the level of exhaustion. So I still count it as a higher high, but I
Mhm.
noticed on this daily time frame how it kind of made like this exhaustion on the top of this candle, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if it was gonna really push up more, but I was still watching it, right? So then on H4 right here, I got rid of this initial fib and I went ahead and measured this out from point A, this new valid higher low to that new
Uh,
valid high,
yeah.
right? So it comes down and I have this trend line, right? So from
Right.
my point A to my point B,
Uh,
point C,
yeah.
and then just dragged into the future. So it goes ahead and tests that, and then it tests this previous level of exhaustion on our 4 hour as well.
That's sweet.
So yeah, it retraces at 88.6, and then I had that push up. So
But
it
why
made
aren't you getting in off of your exhaustion point though? Like look at your
right
placement.
like right here, cause like one thing I try to wait for, I watched it, I don't remember which one it was, but it was talking about like entry placement, how entry placement like
I'm
is
about to
super
get into
important.
with you. Yeah, like your placement.
Honestly, I was late on it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Honestly, I saw
Yeah,
it.
super late. Like that
Yeah,
should have been your scaling entry.
yeah. Like I saw this right here, but I
Should have
wanted it.
been entry down there. You should have been down there on like M5. As soon as you saw it coming down to that green zone, you should have been like on M5, yo.
And is that just because there's so much confluence with this within this
So
area?
much confluence. Like that's a point D point that you waiting to get hit off your trend line, lined up with an exhaustion point, lined up with a Fibonacci level, like, and it's damn near a
Yeah.
triple bottom. Like if you go to the line chart, it's a
Yeah.
yeah, like one, two,
Yeah.
three.
Okay.
So it's like you had too much
Yeah.
influence, bro. Like to be able to really lot up, really
Yeah.
understand like what it is. Like I feel like how you went about it, like I said, should have been a scaling entry. Like you had enough confluence in there to where you could have took that entry around 145, 10 or something like that, and been straight.
Yeah.
Once it, even if it came back up, even if you waited till it came back above your trend line a little bit, that would have been fine, and you could have used
Yeah.
the bottom of your exhaustion zone as your stop loss. Like that's what I mean as far as placement. Like you have to start playing off of your technicals. Like we've already been to the point where like,
Yeah.
okay, we let the technicals form and then yeah, we wait till we get the breakout. And like we've already been there. We've been doing that for the past 2 years. So
Yeah.
now it's about placement. Like I said, it's about you being able to understand. I have this technical here based on previous price. I have this here for a reason. I
Yeah.
need to understand. I need to maximize in this game. As far as a scientist, you want to get precision. You want to get more precise with each and every entry, with each and every order, and week by week. So it's like at this point in time, it's like, yo, I have this off previous price. I know that price is coming back to it. I know this is a major exhaustion zone. So if anything, I need to be down here ready to read and react. You know what I'm
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got you for
yeah,
sure.
five. And then because the risk is so minuscule from that point. You know what I mean? Like, but I get that you're gonna have your normal stop loss risk, the 30 point pips or something like that. But
Yeah.
in this case, bro, like these are the entries where it's like, yo, you could have waited until it made that engulfing at the top. Yeah, right there, bro. And stop loss could have been right there. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, it's gonna be indecision, right? But at the end,
Yeah.
but you have to understand that, like, bro, that point has been rejected multiple times. So if I'm seeing a bunch of bullish candles come into the market at that time, I know
Yeah.
where the momentum is finna go. So and if I check my higher time frames like we did, you already understood that it was a triple bottom being placed or a double bottom being placed. So it's like, let me go ahead
Yeah.
and try to get in as soon as I can, so that my risk to reward is great. And when the move actually starts to take off, my psychology is totally different now. You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you for sure. That makes a lot of sense. The only thing I want to make sure was like, because I saw that exhaustion on the daily, I just
saying?
want to make sure it didn't continue to break through this point, honestly. And then like I wanted to make sure like I had a break of a resistance on like M32. And then like once I got that, bro, I was waiting for this valid higher low to form. But then I watched your video on like continuations, bro, and I was like, dude, that makes so much fucking sense.
Mhm.
So then like I was able to mark this up just like back testing it, right?
Yeah.
So I was on my M15. Let me see. I marked off like that highest resistance point and the lowest resistance point, and then since there wasn't much detail on this time frame, I was on
Mhm.
a down on M5,
Yes.
and this exhaustion, like right here, was like that safety point you were talking about, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And trend line drawn, and my main like you were talking about, like you want to take that entry off that line of scrimmage, right? Like
Yeah.
that lowest point, since
Yeah.
it's gonna up, we'll take it off that support. So the main candle that I was looking at for entry would have been like right here.
Nice. Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
sir. That's nice.
And then like stop loss is below that safety point right there, and then
Uh,
just ride it up and like
hey, man.
monitor on like
That's
M15.
how you apply what you've been watching, Cam. Like that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, bro. Cause I was like confused as fuck. I saw QB, Stu. I saw him on Instagram posting like
That's
hella
a
shit
guy.
about you. I was like, damn, bro, this fool just caught a bag off that shit.
Yeah,
And
he did. He went stupid on UJ this
I
week.
was trying to think of like how could I have gotten into that? And I saw your video, dude, and it made sense. Like, and I feel like that's something that really hinders me is like waiting for like that valid structure point after like a break of resistance on a lower time frame. Because the same thing happened over here, and I'll break it down to you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me just make sure, like, what's it called? So like I took an L on this yesterday. So when I was on H4, right?
Mhm.
Oh, that's kind of cluttered. So I saw it made a new high, right? It broke this last higher high, so now this is the new higher high. I saw it was kind of going bearish right here. So I was down on like H1 just trying to get more details on it, right? I saw this exhaustion zone. So it tests here, right? Comes up, makes kind of like a little minor like a lower high. And
Mhm.
I saw it made this higher low. And it gave me this nice bullish engulfing right here. Like there was a
Mhm.
little bit of exhaustion at the top, but I just dismissed it because of how much volume was in the candle itself. So
But that's the same fucking example we just went over though. That's the
and
same,
I
and
want your
it's
entry to
almost,
be down
it's
here,
almost
right?
yeah, like yeah, entry should have been right down there coming. If it made a higher low in your indecision zone, in your exhaustion zone, and you have 2 points that's
Yeah,
already respected, this is the third time, bro.
yeah.
You should be
I got
expecting some type of freaking rejection. Like I said, if you're on that lower time frame and you see, for one, a higher low point was made, right?
yeah,
You all know that you're in an overall uptrend anyway. So if a higher low point is being made, that means okay, buyers could be getting ready to get stronger in the market.
yeah, I
Let
got
me
you.
go to my lower time frame and see how it's looking on lower time frame. If I'm seeing higher low points being made on lower time frame, and I'm seeing resistance points being, starting to be broken or whatever the case is, but mainly higher low points being formed on that lower time frame, bro, I'm looking for some type of variation in golfing, whatever the case is. And then even if I'm looking at this, like this looks like some type of, small inverted head and shoulders in a sense. So it's like
Yeah.
using all of that, to
Mhm.
really gauge how I want to get in. And like I said, placement, right? So at this point, placement would have been at like
Something like that,
147.
man.
It would have been at like, yeah, you would have had to go lower.
Even on M5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to go lower. And that's fine.
Goddamn.
Yeah, like easily. You could have had you a support point right at that higher low right there, like a little random line. Yep, you already know what I'm talking about. Boom.
Yeah.
And when it came and it tested that and bounced off of your trend line down there, boom, you might have had to go to M1 in this case. You
Yeah, I
know,
got you. Let me see
that's where
real
you
quick.
gotta be able to understand like what time frame do I need to see the flow. Boom. And
Yeah. Like
boom,
right there, yeah.
boom, right there. You know what I'm saying?
I got
You
you.
already got all the exhaustion. You got the first exhausted week that went into your exhaustion zone, not that one, the one before it.
There's this one,
That
right?
one, here you go. Yep. Then they gave you the second one with the big ass hammer, right?
Yeah.
And then it came down, gave you the
And
twister. Yep. Then it came back again and gave you a double bottom. So it's like after
yeah.
that, it's like, bro, how many signs do I need to show you that we about to take the fuck off? You see what I'm saying? And what time
Yeah.
did it take off? That's what you need to know too. What time did it take off?
It's like in the morning.
7,
And
7
yeah.
a.m. So there you go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I got you. Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing is hindering me is almost not like I'm like not being versatile enough. Cause like
Got
even
to.
like here, like I was wanting like still that break, you know what I'm saying?
And that's okay because that's how you've been trading for so long. You know what I'm
Like I
saying?
was,
So it's okay, bro. Like even
yeah,
when I had to start looking at placements and stuff like that, and that's how I even got into it. The whole placement,
yeah,
theory is because I'm like, yo, I need my entries to be closer to my technicals. I need my entries right off my tech because I'm getting the pushes off my technicals, but I'm missing out on 80 pips just because I'm waiting for certain breaks or I'm hoping for certain retests, and sometimes the retests never come. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
what
bro. Yeah.
you say, be even more versatile, be even more comfortable with the time frames and flipping through them, right? And just be diverse in your thinking about how you're going about it because technicals
Yeah.
is fire. You know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like trust them, trust the work that you put in. You don't need that shit to bounce out your fucking zone, come back and retest anymore. Like, no, because you gotta remember the markets is forever changing. Everybody's waiting on that shit to break and retest. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you want to be
Uh-huh.
different. You want to be the 1%. Granted, you're flowing with the majority, but at the same time, entry wise, you want to be the 1%, the 2%. You know what I'm saying? That's actually able to understand transitions, understand what's about to happen, what could happen, anticipate what could happen next. You know what I'm saying? So you're ahead of the curve, but not entering early. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Hmm.
sometimes it's a thin line between those two because trying to get certain placements, sometimes you will be a little early and understanding that. But that's like I say, you got to understand I'm in the indecision area. So it's going to be indecisive for a little bit. I might
Yeah.
got wait until the higher time frames kick in. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's why sometimes I enter low time frame, zoom right back out to my 4 hour or 1 hour or daily and watch the momentum, the majority of the
Yeah.
momentum. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
entering real early in that daily candle, or even if it's late, it might have pushed up and now it's starting to top out and get exhausted, right? So now I know that's sell opportunities if the momentum is looking right, right? And it doesn't have to be long term; it can be short term,
Yeah.
but and that's where it comes back to having intention with your trade, understanding what it is that you need to extract out of the market, right? And then being able to operate in unison with the market until you get the profits that you need, and then being able to hit the button and get the fuck on for your day. Like leave that shit alone.
Yeah, and that's another thing, bro. Is like I was going through back testing with like different stop losses and shit like that, and like realizing like the less my stop losses, the more I could capitalize on it, and the less pips I need. You know what I'm saying? To profit the same as if like I have it written down right here. So like if I'm using a 35 pip stop loss, I'm gonna use a point 50, right? So in turn, I want to try to hit like at least a 1 to 3. So I'm gonna be looking for at least like 105 pips or so, which is it's kind of a lot, but I mean on like a H4 push or like even a good H1 push, it's not a lot, you know what I'm saying?
All
So
right, right,
like then for like 30 pips stop loss, I got point 60, right? So I know I need 90 pips for at least a 1 to 3. And then for point 75, I need 25 pips. All I need is 75 pips, right? And the
right,
whole time, like, and like let's say like best case scenario, like I get a really good entry of 20 pips, right? And that's my stop loss. I could lot up for a 0.85, right? And then at that point, all I need is 60 pips. And like I was back testing that and I was seeing like as long as I'm going for a 1 to 3 with all those stop losses and stuff like that, like I'm gonna profit the exact same no matter what, whether it's more pips or less pips, just based on my stop loss and like how I'm like just distributing my lot size. You know what I'm saying? So, um, as far as like that right there, like that's something I was noticing. You know what I'm saying? But with this whole entry placement thing, like it makes a whole lot more sense to have like that lower down entry because like you're right, yeah, like you're gonna miss out on a lot of pips. Like even from down here, like missing out on 40 pips, you know what I'm saying? Like this could have been that 60 pip move that I
and
wanted,
that's
you
your
know?
day though, but that's the difference between Cam. Like that's the difference between you being like, "Oh, I'm good for today," and you being like, "Damn, I got to hold for another 2 hours. Now I got to analyze for another 2 fucking hours." You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? When it's like, granted, I mean, it's the craft. Like we're gonna do what we gotta do to make the money. But bro, if you could get the fuck on because like, okay, I instead of having 60 pips, now I got 100 pips. Come on,
yeah.
bro. That's $1,000. That's $5,000. That's $10,000, depending on whatever your lot size is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's $400 you're missing out on, or four
And that
K
was
you're missing out on. That's how you got to think about it.
yeah. And the only reason like I'm trying to go for like mainly 1 to 3s and like once I hit a 1 to 3 or like a 1 to 4, just close out and take
That's
it.
a
Just
great
like
trade, bro. We
yeah,
talking
like
about 400 pips, bro. Or we talking about, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I traded hundreds, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like 400,
yeah, yeah,
like 1 to 4, bro. Like, come on,
yeah.
bro.
That's
That's
really
four
nice.
K with the right lot size. That's how, even though you're using like lower lots, bro. Like that's how I need you thinking, Cam, because that's how you're gonna be able to get those days, reach those days, and actually envision. Like you got to see that shit first, bro. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you have to adapt those habits now. So even with, you know what I mean, the 40 pips or the 100 pips or whatever, you have to start thinking in big enough. Like, yeah, I might be using a point 50 or even just a standard. But the
Yeah,
whole thing is I need to be thinking like, okay, how would this look with a 5 lot? How would this look with a 10 lot? What type of fluctuation would I be? Because you're gonna be taking the same fucking moves. It's just gonna be bigger numbers. So the
yeah.
down is gonna be bigger. Everything is gonna be more extreme, right? And it's gonna
Mhm.
be happening a lot faster, almost like looking at the 1 minute. So it's like, bro, that's the only reason when I say your mindset and approach of it is that's where you have to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how would I be adapting this if I'm maintaining the 10K account? How would I be adapting to certain things if I'm in a 20K account right now? You know what I'm saying? Not funded. I'm talking my shit. I'm talking about managing somebody else's live money. I'm talking about putting
Yeah,
yourself mentally in those spaces so that way you could really start to adapt the habits it takes to be the type of trader that you cut out to be, bro. Because you got it. You
yeah,
know?
bro. Mhm. Yeah, and something that like really changed my mindset on it was you talking about like how well am I operating my business? Like I never thought about it like that before, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I heard you
What's the
say that. I
profit?
was like,
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah,
bro, like, it makes it more like this is real, like this is a business, you know, this
yeah,
isn't
bro.
just some shit you do on the computer, like this
Nah,
is
hell
something
no.
that'll
It
fund your
becomes
life.
real when you withdrawing, when you doing paying bills and doing shit for your family and putting yourself in a position to move out or to get that
Yeah,
car or to just jump out in the deep end, bro. Like that's what this shit is about. Like it's time. This is the time. That's why I'm talking to you about placement because this is the time for you to start jumping into the deep end. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's time to
Hmm.
start figuring out how can I up my lots? How can I start having 3K to 5K days? How can I start, you know what I mean, pushing the envelope now because you how old now?
I'm 19.
19 now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So we a year in, you feel me? So it's like now it's really time to start setting shit up for your 20s. Cause next year
yeah.
you're gonna be in your 20s. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And this is gonna be the time where it's like you're gonna be really figuring out who is Cam, really putting shit together, right? And mapping out the rest of your life for your 30s, 40s, etc. So
Yeah, bro.
choices that
Hmm.
you're gonna be making, bro, is gonna be very vital in these next 2 years. You know what I mean? And you have a
100%.
skill, bro, that can take you around the world, that can put you around any type of environment, any type of people you want to be in. And the fact that you're doing this at such a young age and have the 1% skill, bro, you have to lean into this shit. And it's my job to push you into that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah,
right, you
yeah.
have to be operating your business. That's exactly how you need to be thinking on a
Hmm.
weekly basis, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that way you're scaling up to that month shit. Like you have to have a whiteboard, Cam. You have to have shit written down that you, yes, like you have to
yeah.
be looking at that shit every day, bro. Every day,
Hmm.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Because with you, it's not the little shit no more. You know, we're not talking about structure. We're not talking about tests. Now it's about how is Cam going to be managing things? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
How are you managing being in drawdown longer than being in profit? How are you managing being in profit majority of your trade and then
yeah,
realizing when is the time to have an exit strategy? When is the time to cut it? You know what I mean? If you might not get to that 1 to 4, what if you stuck at a 1 to 3 or a 1 to 2
yeah.
5? You know what I'm saying? Like being able to understand what is still a good day for Cam, you know, and
Hmm.
how does Cam need to be managing and doing everything based on not just the charts, but your everyday lifestyle, right? And like I say, building those habits that you need, bro, like staying in the gym, eating right, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Reading
Yeah,
right, reading the right information, right? Understanding how much information you're digesting when it comes to social media, whatever the case is, because this is, like I said, this is going to be the most privy time for you to really structure out your mindset and these habits that you adapt in these next 2 years, bro, is going to lead you through your 20s. So if you already have the habits of, okay, I'm withdrawing bi-weekly, or hey, I'm getting to a certain number and withdrawing and I'm building, I'm adding to the balance, right? I'm not putting myself in uncomfortable situations where I have to keep starting over, starting over, starting over. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the things that I want you to work on so that way, bro, when it's time for me to pass you the baton or whatever the case is, bro, like you can run. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
and that's what you want. Like you like wherever Q started, some who I started, Drew started, whoever, bro. Like it's up to the younger generation to start where we stop. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And keep
Hmm.
because it's gonna be my kids gonna want to learn from Cam. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that, and that's how I want you thinking, bro. Like using this shit, operating this shit as a vehicle, so that way you could create other entities around it that is passively flowing, whether it's real
yeah.
estate,
Mhm.
trucking, Airbnb, whatever, bro, whatever you passionate about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it really is a vehicle, bro. You could do a lot of shit, especially if you're
So
good at
much, bro.
picking.
Like this shit can 4, 5, 6x so fast, bro. So it's like having a plan for it too, though. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important for you right now to understand what are my passions? What do I like to do in my free time besides trading? What do I get excited about? And then how can I monetize that? You know,
Yeah, yeah, like I've kind of like changed like my lifestyle since like the last time we talked. Like I used to have a girlfriend, just smoke weed, and
all
like
that,
not really
all that.
gym and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yup,
But like
yup.
That's
Focus.
like 4 or
That's
5
what I like
months.
to hear. That's what because bro, you got all the time in the world for that shit, bro. And the thing
Yeah,
about it is, I just came from Miami, so I can tell you, bro. You get to a certain level, bro. These shorties gonna come, bro. They gonna come. You gonna
yeah.
have your choosing. They gonna come by the tools. They gonna bring their friends. All that shit that you ever wanted, bro. So it's like it's gonna be there. You
That's
just
exactly how I
work
think
it
about it.
now, bro. Just put that
Yeah,
shit now. You look up 22, 23, bro. You move anywhere you want. 6-figure cam. Like, come on, bro. Like, and it's mapped out for you. It's
yeah,
mapped out for you. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
just gotta lean into what you got going on right now. Go through the mental works, go through the trainings that you about to go through, and everything's gonna keep cutting you out to be that trader that you want to be, bro. Because now it's time. It's time to have bigger days. It's time to have more consistent trades, like whatever the case is. Because like,
yeah. I mean,
so now you don't have to be a 60-70% trader. I know niggas that's 30% traders, bro, still profiting on
yeah,
fund
because
accounts and
of
on
course.
all type of shit. So it's like, bro, how are you operating your business?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Like I've really been trying to how would you say it? Like manipulate my lifestyle towards this. Like I've started doing MMA, I've been in the gym, right? Like past like 4 or 5 months, I've been trying to eat right, not with no girl, stop smoking weed. Like I really just been trying to get my mind right, like specifically this, because I know if I get this right, everything else will follow. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
fall right into place, bro. It fall
yeah,
right into place, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then from there, like I say, it's just about managing everything because now everything is heightened. Everything is like here now. Like first, because money, money is energy, right? It's transfer energy. So it's like first you starting out at kind of a lower vibration, but then when that shit start picking up and you get higher vibrations, people got more access to you. You got access to damn near anything you want. Like, you know what I mean? Like all kind of shit. So it's like where's the real value within Cam? What is Cam really value? Not what's the price of shit or certain items or whatever the case is, but it's like, what does Cam really value? Right? That's gonna keep Cam like
yeah,
I hit this milestone. Okay, it's on to the next milestone. It's on to the next goal. Not getting somewhere like boom, I hit a couple. Okay, now I'm comfortable and complacent. And then next thing you know, when you get complacent, what happens? Boom, the
yeah. You can step back.
vibrations start going down. So you have to figure out how do I need to self-manage and also be self-motivated enough, right? To understand what type of values I have in place to where I can keep reaching goals. And the goals,
Yeah.
say, fuck that girlfriend shit. The goal should be first
Oh,
by
100%. Yeah,
January, I'm up 50K. By you know what I mean, March, April, I'm up 100K. You know what I mean? And then really mapping that shit out. So that way every day, even if you don't hit 100K, bro, you hit 75, you hit 70, you hit 80, like because you was putting work in. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. It's like I don't remember who said it. I think it was Kobe, but like he strived for perfection, and like perfection, like it's something that isn't obtainable. But if you aim for it, you're gonna get down when you're close. You know what I'm
Get
saying?
close as fuck. You're gonna get close as fuck. Because perfect practice makes perfect performance. I promise you that. So you have to practice perfect. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You have to practice perfect every day. That's why they say you see when you see Steph shooting and doing shooting drills, but that nigga's running 100 miles per hour.
yeah. Even when he's playing little kids.
Even when
Yeah,
you playing little kid, it don't matter because he shows up and he puts that same consistency work every day. Because
yeah.
practice perfect, perfect practice makes perfect performance.
Mhm.
So it don't matter
Yeah,
where I'm at. It don't matter if I'm in Miami doing Forex Summit, if I'm in Dubai next year doing Forex, it don't matter if I'm doing the 3DC, if I'm on a one-on-one, anywhere I go, you're gonna feel the passion, you're gonna feel where I'm coming from because I'm trying to perfect my craft. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It don't matter if I'm coaching Cam, if I'm coaching Forbes, if I'm coaching Steven, like it don't matter. You know what I mean? Because I want all y'all to win, but at the same time, I want all y'all to be able to grab something from me, you know what I'm saying, and be able to use it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And utilize it to where it makes you a better trader. And if I've done that, then I feel like I've done my job. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you, bro. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to think about for sure. Like,
Sure. That's how I expected this session to be, our first session. You know what I mean? It's definitely a lot to think about. I also want to know what have you been reading?
I haven't really been reading, honestly. I got that Way of the Turtle book, and I was gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna start reading that shit. I'm gonna start getting into it more. Cause like I
So
got like halfway through it the last time, and then I just ended up getting lazy, bro. Just
yeah,
not reading.
I was gonna tell you, because you already got through some of that. I was gonna tell you I got that book in the section, in the online course, The Psychology of Money.
Yeah. I got you for sure.
But
I'll go ahead and check
that's
that
what I
out as
want
well.
to read for sure. Like for sure. Like the way of the turtle stuff, you didn't got that kind of concepts and shit. I needed you to get out of that. Psychology of money is next.
Got you. Okay, cool. Let me write that down real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, with this move, finish breaking down how you end up taking the L here.
Got you. So, um, right. So you saw price made that higher low right here on H1, right? Well, I was waiting for the break of a resistance somewhere on this lower time frame, which is M15 for me, because it's what looks the cleanest for me. So I saw that there was this level of resistance right here. I marked it off with an exhaustion zone, right? So I see it breaks, and then I have my fibs from point A to point B being right here. I saw a retrace of this 23.6. I took the variation off of here, right? I would kind of like, and like, this is the thing, like, I was stuck in the mindset of like, I wanted to hit that 38.2, right? I wanted to make that valid a higher low, right?
Okay.
Just because that's how I've been used to trading. So made that new high. I went ahead and dragged it up. And I was checking on M30 to see if this was really broken. So I saw I was making dojis around this area. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's probably going to come back down and retrace to this 38.2, right? So I went ahead and it was stupid, bro. I shouldn't have done it. But like I got out like after this right here, just seeing that there was bearish volume coming back in the market, right? And
Mm.
then you can see it goes right back up, right? So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna just stick with my entry, bro. Like this is close enough to it. I see this next engulfing. I went ahead and entered off that, right? With a 20 pip stop below this last area of resistance, now turns support. So CP was up here. It was 60 pips. It was at this negative 27 for H1 TP. And
Fuck
then
that.
on the way, it was H4's negative 27 TP that it's been aiming for.
Yeah.
So from there, I had this marked off, this little level of support, because once it made this 23.6 again, I went ahead and dragged the fib up, right? So now this 38.2 is lining up perfectly with this previous support that was previously at 23.6. But now since it lines up with that, it also lined up with the moving average. So I had a lot of confidence in this trade, right? So I was monitoring it this whole time, seeing I was exhausting off this level of support and this moving average. And then by this time around here, bro, I went to bed, honestly, because I want to be up early for this next session and like just anything that was gonna go on with the market. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up stopping me out, ended up retracing, right? So stop loss is obviously in an area where you know you were for sure wrong. And as you can see, I was for sure wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that was one L I took. But like I know like at this point, like I know I could catch a fucking win. I know I could win a trade, you
Even
know?
even with that, even if you would have managed that differently, you would have won that trade though. Like if you would have been able to see to the left that market been respected up there twice.
Like up
No,
here?
to the left. Yeah, yeah, to the left though. All the way at the top.
Oh, okay, up here.
Yeah, exactly. So if you would have had the exhaustion zone up there, like where you got the random line, then
Yeah,
you would have like in areas like that, like I like to use exhaustion. Exactly. So once you seen that shit make that like morning star doji up there and shit, bro, you should have got the fuck out.
I got you. Yeah, because I saw that, but in my head I was like, I mean, it's still maintaining the
That's
structure
the
on.
third time. I get it, but that's the third time that shit got respected.
I got you for
And you
sure.
still haven't hit 38.2.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, remember, that shit can hit 23.6, go tap negative 27% or 0%, and then fall to 38.2 to give, you know what I mean, get a market more time. So it's like to build up that pressure. But in this case, it just fell and did a full retrace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I got you.
and broke a certain part of structure. So with that on N15, like you still could have, and that's what I want you looking for when you back test is like, how could I have still profited? And like, boom,
Yeah.
the first way is holding your initial entry, right? Because your initial entry was fire, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
23.6 lot size distribution probably could have been a little better. So that way, when it did pull back like that, you could have scaled instead of having to exit and re-enter, right?
Yeah. Got you.
So that's
Like
two.
another entry right here.
All right, is that right? Or just if you're already holding that first entry with like a lower lot size, say like, what's your regular lot size?
Right now it depends, honestly. That's another
What
thing I
lot
was gonna
size did you use with this?
for this one right here. I was using a 0.85 because I was using 20
Okay,
pips.
so like say you used the 0.4 for the first entry, and then when it came back and made that wick that it did, almost like it was going to 38.2, right, bro? Like you could have sniped it with another 0.4, and then you wouldn't
Gotcha.
even been tripping when it went up there to tap that 0%, and you seen that bearish engulfing get made, bro. You hit the
And the
fuck
reason,
out. Yeah, like it's like, bro, I'm already in the 23.6. Like that's what I'm. You see what I'm saying? Like you already
yeah,
in a risky move. So it's like, what the
yeah, I
fuck
was gonna
about
say
the
I was gonna say, is that the reason like you would put a 0.4 because they didn't actually make that valid
Yeah,
higher low, made a
yeah, bro.
23.6?
Lot
Yeah,
size. Listen to what I'm saying. Lot size distribution. You're
yeah,
distributing your lot size across different areas to break up the risk. Instead of
mhm,
you putting that 8.5 in a risky ass area and now you got to hold your nuts. Fuck no.
yeah,
Like use a 0.4, stay comfortable. So that way, if it does pull back, you can smack that bitch again.
gotcha.
Or if it did go a little bit past you a little bit and did tap 38.2, now you can smack that bitch at 38.2. And now you have a 0.4 and a 0.4 equaling what? A point 0.8.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Versus you putting a point 0.8 at one fucking price, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, bro, that shit is so stressful. That shit
Yeah,
is
no,
so,
I got you.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, stay comfortable. I want you to stay comfortable in all facets of this trading shit. If you feel
Yeah,
like that trade is gonna make, if you feel on edge when you about to hit that buy or sell, but you start sweating and shit, bro, chill. Like, no, let's that shit down just in case this shit be on bullshit. And now I can have 2 entries or 3 entries and scale in different areas as prices either letting me know that I'm getting closer or things is going more in my favor, or if shit just need a little bit more time and I'm too early. Cause that's
yeah,
all
I
it
got.
looked like. You wasn't even early. That was a good fucking entry. You just got psyched out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
and
I
like
meant.
that's what
Because
it
you're in a
was.
risky area though, and you put your max lot size in a risky area. You know
Yeah,
what
and that does make sense. Yeah, 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 I got you for sure. I was trying to
I'm
use
saying?
the moving
38.2,
average.
38.2, I would have said shit. I would have been like, cool. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? 23.6, bro. 50%, bro. Those ain't even PRZs. So it's like, nah, bro. Like professionally,
yeah,
that's where the management comes into place. I have to manage and distribute my lot size in a correct way so that way I can be a part of the market and a part of this move and extract what I need from this move, even though because it might be short term.
yeah, got you. All right, for sure. Yeah, yeah, I get that. And like I saw what you were talking about, how you were saying like you don't like it when the moving average, like you want it to be flowing on your higher time frames, obviously
Oh,
with the way
fuck
the trend
yeah.
goes,
I hate,
but
oh, boy.
like on your lower time frame, you want to make sure that it's
I'm
not
not
flowing against
trading
the
against that
price.
motherfucker. If that shit is going against me, if I'm on M5, M1, and that shit pointing down and I'm trying to buy, nah, bro.
Yeah, hell no. That's why I try to wait for this right here. Like
That shit
it
can show
kind
you
of.
something, go up there and tap that bitch, and then you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So it's like, nah, like, but on the higher time frames, it's different, bro, because it'd be so much space. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To get to them shits, like even with that big ass candle, like that big ass H4 candle that had happened.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Which
like
one?
it's so much space to get to that MA. So if you're waiting like you did, bro, you measure how many pips you missed out on.
It's like, bro, it's like 90. I'm
Measure
not gonna
that.
lie.
Yeah.
It's
Boom.
like 100.
Missed
Yeah,
out on 100 pips, bro.
yeah,
Know what I'm saying? And mind you, I'm not talking like fear of missing out and all that shit. No, no, no. We're talking precision. We're talking about being
yeah. Transfer
masters of
play.
our craft and scientists, right? Scientists dig in and do the work, right? So as a scientist, bro, it's like, where are the opportunities that I could have taken advantage? How can I have gotten better with this trade? It's like watching film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of ways you could have went about this to where you could have gotten what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
catch that 100 pips, who knows if you even taking that 23.6?
yeah. Exactly.
See what
That's
I'm
the way
saying?
I
You
feel
might
about it.
just chill and be like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill. The market's at a super high point right now, based on my H4 time frame. It just made a new high. Let me see how the data is gonna flow before I commit to anything.
Yeah, yeah. I got you for sure. And like, yeah, that is something to think about for sure. Cause like that would have been my whole week right there. I could have took this right here just off good entry placement, and then like I want to take a trade the rest of the week.
See
And
what
if
I'm
I
saying?
do get
And then,
extra, you know what I'm
and then
saying?
who knows? Like you get that first candle, your entries at the right placement. Shit, you can hold for you QB stew. You hold for
Yeah,
the rest of the week. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And really vibe because that's the type of dynamics that we're looking for and looking at.
yeah.
That's why he's able to hold throughout the week is because his placement,
Mhm.
placement. And guess what? He's not putting all that shit at one price stacking. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Scaling,
stacking is good.
scaling,
Hell no.
scaling,
Mhm.
scaling. As the market is showing him that is picking up, he's picking up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's all it is, bro.
Yeah, no, I got you. Like that's something I'm gonna for sure like be back testing like entry placement because I feel like I wait way too long for like to break up resistance. I need to read like a higher low. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times that could be my scaling. You know what I'm saying? Like my entry placement could be my first entry. Like my first entry could be down here, and then let's say I do take this. This is just a scaling. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's just a scaling.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
down there at an area like that, that's where the 8.5 come in. That's where that 0.85 come in. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then by the time you get up there, now you can use a point 2, point 0.3 and still get over that standard and have a great fucking day. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because you didn't
I
made
got you.
100 pips off your 8.5, so that's $800 right there. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then by the time you put the 0.23 in, now you well over it. You might have 1,300, 1,400.
yeah. So like let's say like this entry right here, right? If I were to take it off here, my stop loss, would you want it below
Right
like this
underneath
like
them wicks. Yep, right there. 40
cautionary?
pips.
Okay.
40 pips.
40 pips, yeah.
40
And
pips.
like, all right, cool. I feel you. Because I'm on a 25K
Think
account right now.
about what we're saying. You're risking 400 to make 1,400, bro.
Yeah,
1,300. Think about that, bro.
shit. I mean,
Even
yeah.
1,100, bro. You know what I mean? You're risking four
Mhm.
in a
Yeah.
high probable area that probably won't come back.
Mhm. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Different risk
Yeah.
to report than a 23.6 where you have the chance of that shit. You feel me?
Yeah, it could retrace more. Yeah.
Whole different mindset.
Yeah, yeah. This is kind of putting like me in a different mindset as far as all this. Like, because
And
I
how are
understand what
you
you,
operating? And go back to what you put. How are you operating as a business?
yeah, I got you.
Are
Yeah,
you
the
gonna
entry placement
like
thing.
think about it? Think about it. A motherfucker, because you gotta vet out your customers, right? When
Yeah.
motherfuckers come to your store, you got a resale shoe store, some shit like that. You gotta be able to vet them out, right? You gotta see if they trying to scam you. You gotta see what they on. You got It's the same way with this. I'm not taking every trade. I'm not taking every move. You know what I mean? Just like everybody was hitting me yesterday. Oh, US 30 sell. It dropped to the floor. Okay, cool. I made 3,000 already this week. Like
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
could trade Friday. I could make another 3 bands on Friday. Be cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Gotta have
it,
that Joe.
come on, bro. So it's like, but you gotta vet out what's for you. Everybody might be like, oh yeah, that's the right person to sell to, da 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 da, and then or that's the right person to get in business with, or da 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 da. Like, nah, that might not be it. Like, just like when you go, if you reselling, when you go to get your product, you checking out the shoe, you checking out, making sure nobody wore it, you making sure, you know what I mean? It got the
Yeah.
new shoe smell. It's the same shit with this. Let me make sure it didn't hit my exhaustion zone 3 times. Let me make sure I'm seeing some type of variation. Let me make sure I'm seeing what I need to see and I feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Hmm.
Operate as a business, Cameron. I'm telling you, bro. Like your whole, even in the matriculation and maturity of your thinking, like as you getting older, bro. Like it's gonna kick in, bro. All this shit is already clicking for you, so it's just gonna keep clicking. But I need
Yeah.
you to lean into this shit heavy.
Yeah, I got you for sure. Another thing I was gonna ask is like, so you see how it makes this engulfing right here?
Mhm.
That'd be wrong to enter off of, or like you want to wait till it builds up more momentum.
So in that case, that would be the first point of support. And remember, you always need multiple candles to show you its support. So I wouldn't have entered just because it came down and went bearish bullish, but I would have made sure now that variation, that 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that big ass wick on that candle, so I wouldn't have entered on that one. But the next one, like
Right
say
here.
like that tweezer bottom, no, say like that
Oh, right
tweezer,
here.
yeah, like shit like that, I would have entered. You see what I'm
I
saying?
got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's showing me what I need to see. It's showing me that okay, it's more probable. Here go the way of the turtle. It's more probable that that shit won't go back down.